Yeah, baby. Yeah. So listen, in case you don't know who I am, I'm the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington. How am I feeling? Well, we'll have to discuss. There was a reason I didn't do the show yesterday, and I have to do a show today. Did you spill your coffee this morning, baby? Listen, I'm not going to say anymore. We're going old school all the time. So let's go ahead and dive into it, baby. Right now. Man, Fabio, how you doing, buddy?
Aries, what's going on? Everybody, how you guys doing? Thank you for the invite. Can't wait for a conversation today.
Yeah, it should be a good one, man. And welcome everybody to the Market Show Live. And in case you don't know who I am, I'm not the Hot Toys Wizard, but I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk, along with my good friend here, Fabio from Fabio Land. Come on. We got some crazy crap. I've got the wizard juice in hand. I've also got Off-World, Jawa Egg Juice. And are you freaking kidding me? Did you not think I have Spotchka? Because I will tell you.
I have gasoline.
You, did you say Vaseline or gasoline?
Oh man. Imagine if it was Vaseline. Good Lord.
Dude, I didn't only have the Hot Toys Wizard take on my likeness. He freaking did it for an extended time and took on over a whole show this past Monday.
That was amazing. Amazing.
You know what? I did enjoy it. I watched it and I was like, okay, I guess once in a while, a few times a year, do you think I should let him do this again and kind of take over the show while I'm away? I think it worked out okay.
Absolutely. That thing, first of all, I never expected it because obviously, you tell us to do our own version, our own takes on that. So I never expected you to actually do it. So when it was happening, I was like, wait, what the hell's going on right now? I was loving every second of it. It was amazing.
Oh man, well we'll certainly put on the Demon King, put it to you that way, like in honor of Finn Balor. Every once in a blue moon. They'll have to wait for it. They
call him the Wizard.
Welcome everybody in here. This is the Market Show Live. I've got some important news also to discuss. Some news for 6-scale Cantina that is going to help, is going to make you spill your coffee. We also got this tremendous Enforcer droid, K-2SO, baby. You're going to get all the market stuff with this as well. And I cannot wait to spill the coffee with you all in there. And then we're also going to talk about and the first thing we're going to talk about is all this excitement about Queen Studios, this Joker, because everybody has been asking me questions. Hey, are you going to become the Queen Toys Wizard? Are you going to do this? What do you think of this? And I haven't spoke about it. I've let every other channel and everyone else kind of give their piece. Is it possible that tonight you're going to get my opinion on this? But more importantly, really, what is it going to do to the market for a 6-scale? And we're going to get into that first for sure. But let's go ahead and say hi to everyone in here. Looks like we got UK Sith from the UK. And good evening to you too. Table 101. I saw the Wizard was just filling it all up with that freaking Empire Strikes Back Hoth scene with the Tauntauns. What was going on there? Well, I'll fill you up the normal way today. We need a break from that type of wizard. Fabio, Ashley's in the house. Ashley's such a great supporter. What's up? Sebastian, K-2SO, KX Enforcer. Listen, we're going to get into what did I tell you all about reused head sculpts and molds that they already have, this should be the first sign, because these things were hardly in the show. But I'm spilling my coffee over it. Michael is in here. What's up, Michael? See a dream. Welcome in here. What's up, Pablo? What's going on? Vengeful Canadian goes, slick intro. Come on. Thank you so much there, my friend. Maximum Rex. Hold my balls. Okay, we got another hold my balls. Listen, I got to take a sip of coffee. It's Popsick is in the house. All right, guys. Fabs made us late. Fab will tell you it's the Dark Jedi that made us late lately. But yeah, for you, it's Popsick, table 5. Let's fill you up, and let's fill up this little guy. I heard the wizard wouldn't give anybody this little guy. He wouldn't give anybody the freaking Emperor, Fabio. What the hell, man? What the hell?
He had full control.
Yeah. Bob Dylan. Where's Hold My Balls? Put that one back up. Control.
Hold my balls.
Bob's in the house. What's up, Bob? Old school is the only school. You're right, my friend. It's Popsick again. Absolutely. Eric is in the house. What's up, Eric, right now? Doc, what is going on? Crossbow, what is going on? Michael, good to see you as well. What is up? Maximum, Crossbow, come on. Come on. I think we saw some others in here, missing in here. Master Imwe, Gunslinger, Valiant Archer, CT603, The Deputy, what is up to you? Riley, what's up, man? Frogman, I like Frogman. That name, that's awesome. 808, what's up to you? And aloha to you, my friend. Good hello to you. All right, so listen, let's kind of dive into this. So people have been asking me what my opinion is, and everyone knows I'm a big Star Wars collector. Of course, I'm a huge Fabio, Batman, Christian Bale trilogy series fan. I spoke about this before because my family and I were on a vacation that was very special to us, and it was actually coming off a very special event that we were on, where we saw the third version of the trilogy, where they were, obviously they filming in Pittsburgh, but they had the Heinz Field, you had Heinz Ward on there, they did the whole football thing, you had Bane and that whole movie. It's a very, very special trilogy. So I love, let me first just bring this up onto the screen and let's talk about this. So let me tell you the Dark Jedi's opinion of this particular figure. Holy moly, Fabio, is it just me? Or if I wouldn't know, and this happened, and I think this may have been the same artist, because I think I spoke to Joao about it, from a studio called Viper Studios, where they did something called The Pilgrim, which was the White Wizard of it was Gandalf the White, and it was absolutely unbelievable. And I talked about that figure ever since I started this channel. But if this is the same artist, I mean, the same thing I said about that Pilgrim, you would think this is a Hot Toys quality. I mean, that's fantastic, dude. Look at that.
Well, apparently the whole Viper thing, because I don't do rooted hairs or anything, but apparently the Viper thing is he does the head sculpts, the rooted head sculpts. He doesn't do the sculpted ones. So that only applies for the people who are buying the rooted double pack. The sculpted are not by Viper, so that's one thing. But no, this thing looks amazing. I if I was into the whole rooted hair thing, which I think is great. I think it's very cool. When it's there and it's fresh, it looks amazing. I didn't go with that though because I don't really know anything about rooted hair. Apparently, I was planning on getting the rooted hair pack, but I learned that there's maintenance that has to be done on it. You got to prevent it from getting the hair from getting dry, because when it dry, it could get ruined. It looks terrible when it's dry. So, I don't want to have to worry about that and have to, be on top of playing with the hair and stuff. So I played it safe and I went with the double pack sculpted for that reason. But the rooted hair looks amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hold my balls, said I went rooted and my wallet is going through severe depression now. Listen, you better hold on to your hats because I'm going to get into that topic here with the whole market, which is my expertise to pull off of Fabio here. his expertise too, quite frankly, with the biggest collection that I've ever seen in this community anyway. And someone who invests in a lot of 6 scale, not just Hot Toys. But yeah, continuing to go on. I mean, I also seen the regular sculpted hair. I mean, it just looks it looks like a hot toy. Like if someone just said, "Hey, this just came out, Fabio," and they're saying, "Hey, Aries," I would be like, "Oh wow, Hot Toys gave us a special base. This is 6 scale. This looks great." I mean, that would be my first impression.
Yeah, no, it looks specifically the sculpted head. I don't think it looks any different than the Hot Toys head. You know, Hot Toys at the end of the day is and I feel like will always be the best. Again, my opinion. I don't expect anybody to feel the same way. I feel like having companies like Queen Studios step up and say, you know what, let's give it let's do our take on 6 scale figures. There's nothing wrong with it. I would assume that we would all welcome, new takes on figures, because again, this is not going to be exactly the same as the Hot Toys one. We would hope that it's completely different, which is the whole point of the game. We don't want the same, different companies making the same exact thing over and over and over. So it's great to me in that aspect. Again, competition. A lot of people want to talk about, price range, and we're speculating that this was going to be, $1,000. And, one version is over $1,000, but you got to understand that if you guys are expecting prices like these from a company that just came out and don't expect, or not even don't expect, you guys complain, a little bit about Hot Toys prices constantly, so it's kind of weird where, where the community or how the community reacts to stuff like this. Again, this is how I feel about, what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm wrong. I'm just saying what I see. And so I feel like, there's a lot of things, people are very quick to throw Hot Toys under the bus about, little things, but I feel like they don't understand or really realize that, Hot Toys is the best, no matter what. It will always be the best, at least for now. It's been the best for many years. But again, this company coming in is giving us another option, which is great.
No, and we're going to go right off of what you're saying there, and right off of what it's Popsic is saying too, because you bring up a great point, about Hot Toys and about pricing, and we're going to dive into that. It's Popsic says, "I'm still waiting for Hot Toys to bounce back and announce their own." Well, like hold your balls is in here. Hold on to your hat, Popsic, because we're going to get into that as well. Your point there, my friend. But yeah, before I get into expanding upon what you said, Fabio, and also what Popsic is alluding to there, just taking a look again at the figure in general. Like even when I blow this up and look at the wear and tear, the wear of on the green vest, it's to me, this is absolutely unbelievable. And if someone would tell me, "Hey, this is a new release," I would say has to be Hot Toys. Like when you look at that there, great expression. The hair looks really, really good too. You would expect that they would need to have, they were going to do rooted hair with this. So, my impressions, because people have been asking me again, I think this is unbelievable. That is where I wanted to go. Look at these expressions. I was talking about expressions with Ahsoka. You could get some different looks. Look at that there. Really, really nice. I can't wait to see what they're going to do without the makeup on a regular human head sculpt. You know where I'm going with that, Fabio? Like, for instance, I don't want to say that this is easier because he's covered up in white. But when you don't got to capture in a figure, and I'm not talking about a statue, when you don't have to capture, like for instance, some of the complexities you get like with a Rey or with a Tamora Morrison or a Casca Reeves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the detail you're saying that with the face paint, it's easier to a sense, because you don't have to pick up all the detail of the tones of the skin and all that stuff. So yeah, so I get what you're saying, but that, that's just who the Joker is. You know what I mean? But absolutely, I would love to see a head sculpt without, face paint to really see what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that very, very soon. Definitely very, very exciting. I'm trying to get to these other pictures here, and I may not look at that base. So this comes with the figure, right, Fabio? So in other words, you don't have to buy this separate. So for instance, when you buy this, even the single version, I heard, you could get this at a 2-pack, right? You get this type of base with it, sir.
Right. So apparently, from what I understand so far, you get that jail bench diorama with the double packs. Both double packs come with this and the round base. I am assuming that the single version comes with only the round base, if that, because obviously, that's where you want to put that Joker with the purple jacket, standing. But because if you get the 2-pack, you're going to have the second Joker without the jacket, which is, from the jail scene, which is what this base is supposed to represent. That's why they would give you this base. And, I don't know if you know, but it's supposed to be all metal too, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm with 70 in here already. Don't forget, everybody, go ahead and take a pause, strike a pose, but move your finger and hit that like button, baby. You are watching the Market Show Live special show here on a Thursday evening. And in case you don't know who I am the Dark Jedi Aries Tarrington, serving up all the Star Wars. Hot Toys Talk. Listen, baby, cannot wait to get into this droid, the K-2SO. We're going to be spilling our coffee, but first, again, answering so many questions with people reaching out to me in regards to this figure. So staying on this, again, absolutely unbelievable. Someone brought up in there that Hot Toys would answer. May I suggest that they may have already. Looking at some of this stuff here, look at that detail with the hands. It's very, very intricate as well, Fabio. This is outstanding. These are magnetic.
To me, this is the coolest part of the figure. Yeah, a lot of people are, I guess worried about the posability. So, for example, as you can see, this attaches at the elbow, a little bit further down in the elbow from the elbow. So you can't really move around, rotate, move up and down, flex, pronate, anything to the wrist. So again, people may not like that because you can't really do much with that when it comes to posing, but I feel like this was done on purpose because with that Joker, you don't really need to give him a gun. You don't really need to give him, you know what I mean? So he's supposed to be in the jail cell anyway. So I think I'd rather this than regular just different hands or pegs or anything like that, just because I feel like this is so much better for the figure. The detail in his hands, they look so real. The fact that they put the face, his face paint all over them, great, amazing, all around amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Spilling my coffee overlooking, at this Joker. I like this, even though I have a couple of takes on it. I like the difference. Call it innovation, call it what you will. It's a different way. It's magnetic. You get to put it up the arm, so you're not dealing with the pegs. But then again, it doesn't have the hands where you're able to twist them and turn the hands in a certain position. But I like it. I like the idea of it being magnetic, and I would strongly believe it's probably super strong magnets, Fabio.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be. It can't. And that comes down to also the whole quality of the figure. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're all excited. It's a new figure. It's a new company, but we don't know anything about the bodies. We don't know anything about the quality. We don't know anything about anything. We're being shown pictures and videos, but we still haven't gotten an actual product in hand, so we don't really know anything at all. But I would assume that they would, if it's going to be $700 plus dollars for the double pack to be able to get this body, I'm assuming that the quality's got to be there. So the magnet's got to be strong enough to stay wherever you put them and not fall out or for whatever reason you barely touch them and it'll just get loose or whatever. So I have a feeling, and I forget who also mentioned, Hot Toys had done something like this before, not exactly the same, but for the Iron Man 3 Tony Stark mech test, I believe. No, is it mech test? No, it's just the Iron Man 3 Tony Stark when he was trying to escape from where he was being held captive. So, and what they did was they gave you the blaster arm. You were able to separate it, so you're able to take it off magnetically and swap it out for his original, which is again awesome. And this was done many years ago, so Hot Toys was already on top of that, or way before this company came about.
Well, with 80 in here now and keeping climbing, please go ahead and smash that like button. You are here at the Dark Jedi Special Market Show Live, here to spill our coffee on the new droid for the book of Boba Fett, give another special announcement, and also talk a little bit about this outstanding Joker from Queen Studios, because I haven't given an opinion on this yet. Fabio, I've talked to you, offline on this particular thing. I was letting all the other content creators kind of spill their coffee and give their take on it first, because I have market thoughts on this and market analysis. So first of all, the figure is absolutely unbelievable. I like the different, if you want to call it innovations, the way that you can magnetize the arms. I like it. I like it. Actually, I love it. Here's the thing I want to bring up. So, and we'll talk about this with this particular figure, Fabio. Whenever you go out and buy a car, let's talk about let's keep it with like a Mercedes or a Cadillac. Let's go with a Mercedes. There's a base Mercedes, and when you go ahead and get the higher class Mercedes that comes with more gadgets, what happens is you are going to pay more money for those gadgets and that innovation. But that's not all. Then there's another model of Mercedes. This is the same for Cadillac. This is the same for Chevrolet, Ford, whatever vehicle that you buy. Then you go up another class, and it's another step up in price. And then you can go up to the ultimate class, whether it's the limited edition or whatever edition it is. This is anything in life. Even when you buy a product in the food market, if you're going to get premium brand, or if you're going to get the premium quality, or you're going to get the extra gadgets, or you're going to go ahead and get the extra thing that comes with the package, that is going to bring the price up for these particular figures. So for me, I heard that the price of this Joker, the sculpted hair, just the one piece, was $340, $350, which to me, the Dark Jedi's opinion is that's an outstandingly good price for what I'm just seeing here that's on the screen. Let me just go ahead and point that out. For the Dark Jedi, for what I just saw here, and for those things, and the fact that they are, I know they're a giant statue company. They're a small company in this regard. There are certain budgets for certain things and different factions within a company. Not everybody's going to take, don't be mistaken by that. This is small. So right now, to take that into account, at least this department, this section of this particular company. But $340, $350 to me is nothing to squawk at. But the thing I want to point out is you have Hot Toys innovating, and they have been innovating, because the head sculpts, we were just talking about that with the Fett Shand and the Costa Reeves. And the interesting thing is when you try and pull out now the Alec Guinness head sculpts, the Peter Cushing head sculpts, some of the great ones of old that were untouchable, these ones that they're doing now, dude, they are so flippin' fracking, and I mean insane. Like almost they're gonna come to life in a horror movie, and your doll's gonna come out like with the puppet master going, "Hey, where are you, Sally?" And start freaking talking to you. They're so lifelike. But listen, we just came out with a figure, and I forgot the guy's name. Gillespie, I don't know, from the Eternals. Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh. Okay. $270, which I thought in this rising inflation, which is going insane, we're squawking about $10, $15 for Gilgamesh. And if you want Hot Toys to innovate, start putting in magnetic arms, starting to put in some different things, these bases, you're going to see prices be $340, $350. But that's not a problem for me, because for quality and innovation, I'll go ahead and do it. I know you'll go ahead and do it. But when we're bitching about $10, $15, $20, I'm just saying, this is what you're going to get. If you want this innovation, you want this type, you want rooted hair, because, and I don't blame Queen Studios, the rooted hair version, Fabio, is more expensive. So you want Hot Toys to start doing that. Get ready to pay up. But we have to take into account that the world is changing just the way things are. Things are going to go up. When you start innovating, things are going to get up as well. That's the part I want to discuss here with you. You've been collecting for a long time. Inflation is a natural way of things. I know that you're not paying for figures the same price now that you paid for them 5 years ago, Fabio, or what you paid for them 10 years ago, so on and so forth. But every time you use magic, we know from the wizard, there's a price. Every time you invest in something, every time you improve, it costs more, plus raw materials are going through the freaking wazoo right now.
So that's where I was going with my comment earlier about, people complaining about Hot Toys prices now. We've been getting steadily the same type of figure from Hot Toys. Yeah, their head sculpts get better and better, but pretty much same bodies, nothing brand new, nothing crazy. Which again, I'm not complaining. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a lot of people who are constantly complaining, in the community, posting, "Oh, this is so expensive. Why is this much? Why is that?" And we're still at the mid to high 200s. Queen Studios comes out of nowhere with a figure already 350 plus. Just first figure off the bat. No, everybody's looking to get not one but two of them. But they're very quick to complain about a $270, $280, $290 Hot Toys figure, but a company with no reputation in the 6 scale game comes out with a 350, 600, 700 plus, 1,000 plus, deals and packages of figures, and everybody can't wait to get it. So it's like, and the reason why this stands out to me is because, I love Hot Toys. Clearly I love Hot Toys. Clearly I have, pretty much from when I started, pretty much every Hot Toy that I've ever seen be released. So I love their work. I love what they do. I love collecting Hot Toys. I don't only collect Hot Toys, but I love collecting. That's why, you'll never hear me bashing Hot Toys. Yeah, I'll have my complaints, but I will never be like, "Oh, they suck." Never, because I love what they do. So when it comes to pricing, it's like they don't really care about screw Hot Toys. Let me go with this company now. But
the price has to go up with Hot Toys, whether they're.
It's already, that's the thing. It's already going up slowly. Every figure is a higher price than the one previous, unless obviously there's more to it. But $270, figure for Gilgamesh, price range for Gilgamesh. If you look at it, it's expensive because there's nothing to go with it. You literally get a base and hands and that effect, that magical effect. That's it. That's very expensive for that. But people don't take into consideration the artistry that went into the head sculpt. That head sculpt looks amazing.
The body too. The body. The outfit.
It's either right. The clothing, exactly. That the detail in that is ridiculous. So,
and no offense to the Princess Leia Bespin, which was cheaper, but I feel like it was a little bit easier to produce that little cloth she has in the red outfit than what they give you on Gilgamesh. With all respect, look, and I'm coming into this because I've got and I think that's why a lot of people are asking my opinion, because I got no dog in this fight. I only collect Star Wars. Whoever's going to put out the best Star Wars figure, the wizard will be there for whoever it is. Exactly. But the point of it is, I try to go out and fill up my car with gas right now, Fabio, and it's so damn expensive. You go out to try and get a gallon of milk right now. Like I was talking to my wife about some of the groceries that her and my daughters are getting. Holy crap. It is going up so much. So listen, for Hot Toys, it's going to go up. But when people have asked me, Aries, but this figure here is $350, I'm saying this is a good price, guys. This is a good price, girls. This is a good figure. But now if you want, and I'm not sure if I want it, I can't wait to see this figure, see the reviews from you and some of the others on how the magnet works. I'm thinking it's going to be great. It's going to be super strong. But I don't know. I don't know if I want that. But
are you talking about the magnet on the base or the magnet on the arms?
Both. The magnet's there for the boots and all that.
Yeah, because I could show you what the arms would look like on that figure. Because I have, like I said, I have the Iron Man right behind me, so I could just show you how strong that magnet is.
It's super strong. No, I take your word for it. But the thing of it is, if we want them to start doing that with the Hot Toys figures, then forget about $270 is my point, Fabio. We're going to start spending $350 on Hot Toys. Are you ready for that? Are we ready for that?
Well, some figures already are even, higher than that already. Diecast figure.
Sure, diecast. I mean, non-diecast.
No, right. So regular. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter what it costs as long as it's worth what it is. So, for example, the reason why I say Gilgamesh is expensive is because there's nothing to him, when it comes to accessories. But you don't need accessories. You pull out that figure alone and you put it on a case, it's going to look amazing. You know what I mean? Just the presence of that figure on a shelf, on a shelf is going to look incredible. The outfit, like you mentioned, the outfit is ridiculous. So again, it comes down to how you feel about it. Is it worth it to you to spend your own money on it? And this is why, hype buying is tricky, because you're letting, everybody else dictate what you use your money for. And I feel like that's like, to me, that's very deep, because you have no control. You have literally, somebody says, or, many people say, oh, oh my God, this is a new hot thing. I have to get in, I have to get in it. I have to get on it. I have to buy it. That to me, like, blows my mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, when this came out, I wasn't like, oh my God, I was like, I don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's cool to see a new figure, a new company. All of that is exciting.
Yeah.
But to jump into $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 figure, which obviously that's what you would look into in the first place, because that's the best. That's the best one.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is, as Starkiller, this was funny. He said, "Hey guys, I thought I logged into the wrong show. Thought this was strictly Star Wars." Well, it is. It ties into Star Wars, because the point is, with the market, if we're going to want some of these differences with Star Wars figures, who's going to pay for it? And that's what we're talking about. And we're going to get into the K-2SO, all the coffee spilled. We're spilling coffee now, because this is the first time I gave my impressions on the Joker. Again, it is absolutely unbelievable bringing it up onto the screen. But from a market standpoint, because here's the thing. Hot Toys, and Popsick brought this up before, T by Popsick in the chat. They are going to answer. And it's kind of like if Cadillac comes out with something, Fabio, then all of a sudden you're going to have Acura come out with something that's going to combat the new Cadillac. And then you're going to have Mercedes that's going to come out with something to get you to buy something, to buy their Mercedes instead. I think competition is good. But one thing that the competition does do, and I'm bringing the reality check to everybody here. That's the Dark Jedi's game with 100 in here. I'm bringing the reality check from an outside perspective. You try to buy a fracking Camaro right now. I remember back in the day where I could buy a Firebird, where I can buy a Camaro, and it would be so far less expensive than a Cadillac or a Buick. It would not even, you'd have to put a damn supercharger in that Trans Am, baby, to pay as much as a Buick Regal. But nowadays, because they just kept improving it, improving the suspension, improving all these gadgets like you get with a Cadillac and a Camaro, now you're spending $60,000, $70,000 for a freaking Camaro. And you have to wonder, as we continue to want innovation for Hot Toys, as we continue to want innovation for this or for that, I'm all for it. Because again, I'm spilling my coffee over the Joker thing. But already you're talking $340, $350. Well, now if Hot Toys answers, Fabio, we may be talking 340, 350. And forget about the Iron Man. The Iron Mans then may start going up to 500, 550. 2-packs might start getting up to 800, 900. It's a whole new world. Now, I'm saying that aside. That's just basic way of things in life. Whenever you're bringing in that competition, the other thing that happens is that right now, coming out of COVID-19, there is so many things. We're all living it. We're all experiencing it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, at work, everywhere. It is rough. So that's the only thing that I'm saying. With great power, it comes great responsibility. When you use a little bit of magic to enhance, there is a cost that comes somewhere else. I'm going to put it like this way, Fabio. A wise man once said, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
100%. 100%. Here's the thing, though. And again, this is just continuation of what I was saying before. The thing is to complain about a company that is steadily, giving us product, because that's what they do. Yeah, they get delays and whatever, but there's still a lot of people only collect Hot Toys, only, that's it, nothing else, just Hot Toys. So there's got to be a level of appreciation is I guess where I'm trying to get at. Like everybody's just so quick to bash Hot Toys at any moment, at any mistake. And I get it. But when they do good things, nobody praises Hot Toys for that. Like again, Gilgamesh came out. Gilgamesh is stunning, but because of the movie and there's no hype on it, then horrible. Who cares? Nobody. And that's like what bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, this is, at the end of the day, Queen Studios could say, you know what? We're not making 6-scale figures anymore. And then what? You're still stuck with Hot Toys. So that's what I mean. Just don't be too quick to jump on the bandwagon about something that you don't know anything about and start, crapping on the company that you're going to get at least 98% of their best every single time.
No, it's a very valid point, and that's a very good perspective as well. And welcome everybody to here with the 101. Don't forget to smash that like button for the Dark Jedi. You are watching the Market Show live with my good friend Fabio from Fabio Land, and Bob Dylan puts up a good comment where he says, "You can't underestimate the power of something new. Pre-sales for Tesla were through the roof when the Model 3 was announced." Boy, you're absolutely right, Bob. And you have to wonder. Look, here's the thing. If like I said, I gave my opinion on this. I think this is money. I think that this figure is awesome. I like the innovation with it. And my point is, and what I've been talking about here, Fabio, and what you've been talking about, this is $340 for a figure where I'm going to get where I want, and they're going to add some magnetic parts. Like if this was a Star Wars figure, if this was like a figure that like let's say, I'm just gonna throw, if this was a Padme,
right,
that had rooted hair that actually looked like that, and it was $340 coming with the same thing, I'd buy it in 2 seconds. I've got no problem with the price. The problem is now, like Cadillac and Buick and Mercedes and Acura, and and Chrysler and Volvo, all these different companies, Jaguar, competing with each other. It starts going like this. You see my two hands? Bop, 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 bop. All this innovation comes at a price which I'm willing to pay. But it's getting really steep right now where some people are saying, hey, we can't have this go up $10. We can't have it go up $15. The point of the matter is, just like you can't buy that Camaro or that Firebird, unfortunately, anymore, baby, for $13,099 going out the door with the window sticker with taxes $15,000. You were still paying, Fabio, $50,000 for a top of the line Cadillac back then. But that's what happens when you start all becoming Cadillacs. Then all these prices go up, which I don't have a problem with. But is everybody ready for that? Because now you're going to, I've heard people say to me, well, I'm not buying the quarter scale figures because they're too much money. Well, listen, there's going to come a time, whether we have innovation or not, where the days of figures at $200, Fabio, I don't know what it's going to be something of yesteryear. The only figures you're going to get for $200 or $270 or $280 in a few years to come are first order stormtroopers, baby.
And that's where it's going 100%. It's just human nature. It's just going to go up slowly, increase every time. And like you said, if there's innovation, forget it. And they're going to use any excuse to make it more expensive. And now, Bob Dylan's comment, for example, that makes sense because people have seen what Tesla is capable of because they've had previous vehicles. With these Jokers, we don't know anything about anything. That's the difference. You know what I mean? We've never seen them make a 1/6 scale figure before. So there's no reason for that crazy hype because we've never seen one. Tesla has had vehicles prior to the Model 3. So that's the difference. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's going to be hype because they're like, oh, wow, this company's doing great. Here's another vehicle from them. Of course, I'm going to be excited to get it because I already know what their vehicles do.
That's a good point.
And the new one is only going to be that much better.
So,
but in a figure, you can't say that because we don't know anything about any figures because they've never made one.
Look at what I'm going to put up on the screen, going off your point with 100 in here, pulling this up onto the screen. Impromptu show. We're going to spill our coffee over the K-2SO, this figure. Going off of Fabio's point here, I'm bringing someone up that some of you, hopefully you know who this is. I know that you know who this is, Fabio. This is the female UFC world champion in the flyweight division, Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. She is the undisputed champion in the 125-pound division for the UFC. I'm going to bring something else up over here, too. I think you know who this is, and I'll put this up on the screen. This is someone we call Francis Ngannou, who is the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, right there knocking out Alistair Overeem, a fantastic fighter. And one thing I want to go ahead and point out as we're talking about, because I don't believe, and like I said, I love this Queen Studios thing. I actually don't believe that Queen Studios, I believe that this is the start of a few companies stepping forward with this. I think we're going to see over the next couple of years, Fabio, quite a few companies, including Hasbro. I'm telling you right now, you heard it from the Dark Jedi, are going to step up to the plate and come in here with a ton of different innovations and different things as they buy different companies, invest in different things. But right now we have to understand, Hot Toys is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And I have been coaching for 31 years. 31 years. And I've seen a lot of contenders and prospects come up through the years that look very, very promising. They're prototypes. They're going through amateur fights. They're going through low-key pro circuits. They're working their way up to eventually someday make it into a top 25 position, make it into a top 15, into the top 10. But it's another thing to go up against Francis Ngannou and actually defeat the champion. And until you go in there and knock this guy out or tap this guy out, or until you go in here, because there's been so much hype on so many of these girls, and I'm telling you, they have the next thing, the next innovative, I'm going to use the word, innovative way to beat Valentina Shevchenko, and they get in there and they can't do it. And when you compare it at the end of the day, they're excellent. They're very, very, very good, but they're not the king of the hill or the top, like you're seeing Valentina Shevchenko here. And that's my point. And I think when it comes to all of this stuff in here, I want to see what the final production comes out as. Then I want to be able to see what the other figures that come out are. And I also want to see what Hot Toys is going to do, because this is another part of it, because I can pull up champions that fold. But I'll let you speak to this first. My point here.
Like I've always said, ever since I found out about Hot Toys, to me, from day one, they've always been the best. To this day, I always say I started between 2009, 2010. It's always been the best, even when there were, I have figures from back then that are very, very crappy compared to what the stuff we get now. And again, even back then, they were the best. That's why I don't complain about Hot Toys. I don't bash Hot Toys. I guess whoever does is, has the right to their opinion. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me personally, because I understand, I appreciate at the end of the day, what they do. You can't back. If I was a their competitor, that's a different story. Then I could say whatever I want. Oh, pay attention to the way they do their stitching. Pay attention to, but I'm not about that. I love collecting. I love Hot Toys. And, to me, they're number one. And like you said, until they're knocked down and knocked out, they will stay on top. They give us value, whether you guys believe it or not, in my opinion. They give us, fire figures. They give us great stuff, accessories, very rarely, unless it's a stormtrooper that you get hands. The new figures, obviously, the new the Eternals, with the Gilgamesh and Thena. We're not getting much with them. Thena gets the shield and whatever else she gets. I forget what she gets. So that's what I mean. And they're still $200, $70, and
yeah,
people, this is so expensive. But you have to realize, again, it's not just the accessories; it's everything else. So that's why I can never. Again, Queen Studios, great, welcome.
yeah,
I'm buying your product.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I would like to see it. There's nothing I could really say about it because I don't know it. I don't know anything about it besides pictures and videos. But doesn't mean that it's not exciting to find out about a new product. It's just, there's no reason to go overboard with it. Like, another thing that I'm noticing, a lot of people are, posting that they're looking for people selling their Jokers, their Hot Toys Jokers. People are demanding to, if you, looking for, whatever, or I'm selling my Joker. Why? You don't even know what you're getting when the other one releases. Why are you jumping the gun and start looking into selling, a figure that most likely you're going to regret selling anyway, because you don't know what's coming. We could get all this hype
hold on to it.
Exactly. It's like, this is amazing and blah, blah, blah. But you don't know what's coming. You know what I mean? So hold on to your stuff, wait till it comes out, and then you could decide. And I get it. I understand why they do it. Obviously, if something is released, nobody's going to want to sell anything or buy anything because they just got the newer thing. So I get all that. But just hold on to your stuff and just wait. But if you need the money, then right ahead.
Well, sure, if you need the money. And you bring up some really valid points. And 1/6 scale man with the $2 drop. Hit the like button in here, you all. Thank you so much, Derlail, from the 1/6 scale man. Appreciate the support. Make sure you subscribe to his channel up in there. Thank you so much, Lael. And we got other super chats in there. We're going to get to it. But, Fabio, you bring up a great point. And I agree with you. I don't think we, as a community, should be putting down Hot Toys. That's the whole... obviously, when they have the two screws in the armor, any company, when Sideshow does their thing with the Grievous, of course, I'm talking about that. But I totally agree with you. We should be happy with what Hot Toys is doing.
But it's not only, bashing them. It's give them credit when it's due. Appreciate when they do something great. And my example was the Gilgamesh for that reason.
Exactly. And I don't got a problem. I agree with you. And I think we should all do that. Now, if it's another company that wants to go after Hot Toys and say, hey, I could do it better, just like these fighters. Their fighters like, I'm going to knock you out. Or this fighter says, my stitching's better than yours. I kind of like that, to be honest with you. I heard that there was another company we were talking about on a show last week that went after Hot Toys. And I'll be honest with you, I like that kind of grit. Go ahead and make Hot Toys stick a match under their butt. Make them go ahead and jump up and make Howard react. And I personally don't have a problem with that, with one company going after the other. I think it kind of breeds healthy. But I do agree with you. Yes, as we get excited in a community about the prospect of something else, we do have to remember who got us there. So I think that that's where you're going with that, and I totally agree with you. And putting this up on the screen, we'll leave it up here for a minute. Another super chat. We'll get to the rest of it. The $20 bomb from Sea Dream saying, "Let's get ready to rumble." Well, you know, I like doing the Bruce Buffer one and the the freaking Joe Martinez one instead. So let me bring this up, Fabio, because you bring up some really, really interesting points here. We're in agreement on everything that you've been bringing up here. However, sometimes there's champions that don't rise to the occasion. That actually the contender comes up and knocks them out, and you never hear from them again. So the thing of it is, as inflation occurs, as we're talking about this here, and you know, we're experiencing, and hot toys are going up regardless. Milk is going up regardless, whether you get premium milk or non-premium milk. Gas is going up regardless, whether you get 87 octane, 89 octane, I put that in my video description, or 92 or 93 octane, whatever octane that's going up. So already with hot toys going up just because of what's going on. If they answer the bell with this, you know, let's say that this Joker does come out and it is as good as this prototype. It is as good as this stuff, which I'm expecting it will be. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going on and what they can do after. Actually, not only am I excited about Queen Studios, I know that Hasbro is going to be coming out with a different division that's going to try and combat both of them. I know, especially, I mean, it's going to happen. That Hasbro's doing it, and they're going to announce it. There's also other companies that are going to come out of the woodwork saying they're stepping into it to try and take on the hot toys market, just like it is in fighting. Pulling this back up, it's not just Alistair Overeem going after Francis Ngannou. You've got Derek Lewis going after Francis Ngannou. You had Cyril Gahn going after Francis Ngannou. You're going to get John Bones Jones now going after Cyril. Heck, you're probably going to get Brock Lesnar to come out of retirement at 80,000 years old and try and go after. This is just the way of things. And I think it's a healthy thing. But what I'm trying to say is, if Hot Toys answers the bell on this, or if they don't answer the bell, the price is going up. But if they answer the bell, dude, we're talking about $340, $350, aren't we? I mean, for basic figures now, for Casca Reeves, for Fennec Shans, for figures like that. I mean, that's what happens if you start trying to answer every bell and whistle or come out with a different package. You know, you see this with Queen Studios. They're offering a version with rooted hair. They're offering a version with sculpted hair. Hot Toys could do the same thing. You can get a Cadillac with premium air conditioning, or you could get it with the suit with the heated steering wheel, or you could get it without the heating steering wheel. You know what I'm saying, baby? Go.
Yeah, it's all about, you know, obviously features, like you were talking about cars earlier. The more features, you know, the more pricey, the more advanced the technology, the more pricey. It's just common sense. But also, you know, because like you're saying, we're okay, you know, with this $350 figure. If that was Hot Toys' base price for any figure, people would complain all the time.
What if they had the magnets though, and they had that magnetic base? Would they still complain?
To me, having magnets like that is not a big deal. It doesn't, you know, make it or break it for me to buy a figure or not buy a figure. I feel like when we talk about innovation, and I feel like when we talk about, you know, advancements, I feel like I think of electronics. I feel like, you know, like for example, doing like USB ports for the Iron Man. That to me is innovation. You know what I mean? Forget all those batteries. Forget all that stuff that actually ends up ruining the mechanisms of the Iron Man figures if you leave those batteries in too long. You know, I don't put any batteries in my figures for that reason, just out of fear, because from when I started, the plastic ones, they would end up, the batteries would leak, because I guess they gave you the cheapest batteries in the world. So they would actually leak inside, and destroy the entire mechanism where they go. So figures were actually ruined by that. So I never put batteries in my Iron Man for that reason. So Hot Toys was giving me, for example, a non Iron Man figure, non-metallic figure, non-diecast figure. They were giving me rooted hair, for example, for a Joker, which they've never done. That to me is awesome because I feel like if any figure is gonna have rooted hair, it should be the Joker. You know, women, obviously, of course, if it works, fine. If it doesn't, fine. But the Joker is like a big deal, which is why I feel like Queen Studios went that route to give us both, give you sculpted and rooted. Which
I like it.
No, it's great, and I feel like they both look great. But so when I think about innovation and price, it's something like that, like to the next level. You know, better bodies for better posing. You know, the accessories make them die-cast or metal. You know, stuff like that. Like that's what when I think, all right, we're paying for something that's worth it. I don't mind, but to pay just because of materials and prices and you know inflation, that's when I feel like people have a problem with that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's something we got to get used to. Our good friend, my buddy P Rock in the house, P Rockzilla is in here. Good to have P Rock in here. Welcome in here. We've got Kiko from Kiko Collects. Francis first Brock. I'd love it there, Kiko. I would love it. Kiko in the house here. Fig Fate is in the house. Great supporter to the channel. And I think I mentioned 808 is in here. And all the way from Hawaii in the house. Putting this up from Bob Dylan, Fabio. He puts up Hot Toys is the champ. But even champs need challengers. He's right. I know where he's going with this. To keep them sharp. Queen may price out some collectors, but they will make Hot Toys pay attention. And you have to wonder, don't you want that spark if you're a champion? Because you got to know. I know from talking to a lot of fighters and you know, a lot of contenders. You know, I coach some fighters. Some of them kind of coast in. They don't think anybody's going to come up from behind them, and then they wind up getting caught by surprise. They get tapped out. They get knocked out. They get pounded out. And then you get some champions, Fabio, that rise to the challenge, that kind of look for people to chase them. I almost feel like Howard's the type of guy, from everything that we've been seen with him, when he starts feeling, hey, people are questioning, what am I going to do? What's going on? I think we may have even seen it today with that figure we're going to spill our coffee over, that this K-2SO droid, this KX Enforcer. I think he's the kind of champion in this that's very proud of what he built, very passionate about what he built. And I think, to Bob Dylan's point over here, I think he is going to react to this in some case. Do you think he will?
My personal opinion about Hot Toys and how they run, you know, their company, I don't think they care, honestly. I think that, you know, nobody tells him what to do. He does what he wants. Apparently, you know, he has to approve.
He does.
He has to approve, you know, and I feel like what's going to give it away is this. You know, people are already speculating that Hot Toys is going to drop their 3.0 at any point because of this. If they do that, that's your sign that they're paying attention to other people's, you know, work. If they don't give us that, they don't care. And I'm telling you, I feel like they don't care. There's no communication between us and them. There's no, you know what I mean? If they cared, they may have, you know, people sneaking into groups to see, you know, to see what's going on, what people are talking about. But I don't think that they really care about what we have to say to them directly, because they just don't care. They're going to produce what they're going to produce, and it is what it is. You either buy it or not. And because, again, I feel like they know that they're number one. They don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's good stuff. And thank you so much for that super chat there, Bob. Yeah, you know, that's a good point there, Fabio. I feel like, you know, as we're going through, getting ready to look at the Enforcer here, the K-2SO, and spill our coffee. or kind of spilling our coffee or giving my thoughts on the Joker anyway, which I think is outstanding. It poses a lot of questions. I think you bring up a lot of good things to kind of cap it off and give you the final word. I think it's important for us as collectors to not bite the hand that has fed us for years. Like you were saying, Hot Toys has been very, very good to us. Again, I don't got a problem when another company goes after them. Heck, go ahead and challenge them. Come right out and say whatever you want to say about them and get them to react. I think trying to stay sharp is good. And I think it's interesting to see how Howard reacts, what he's going to come up with, and that type of thing. But I think we got to remember, hey, I know for me, I love Hot Toys. I love what they're doing. I've known that the prices were going to increase, whether someone was going to come up and challenge them or not. But I think, as we continue, like these Cadillacs, these Mercedes, these Acuras, these cars all competing with each other, because I have a strong hunch, and I know what your opinion is, that this is the first sign. It's not just one invader coming in to try and do, which I think is great. I think we're going to be talking about other companies besides Queen that may step up to the plate. And I think it's good. But when one company tries to outdo the other, usually it's a chain reaction and everything starts going up, which is the way of things in life, really.
And I also think that if for whatever reason they do come out with a 3.0, I personally would think that it's out of to prove a point. You know what I mean? It's not so much out of fear. It's not so much out of, oh my God, I'm worried about this company. No, I think it's, if they do decide to go that way, is to prove a point and say, we're still better than you. We're still here. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm waiting for. Personally, that's what I'm waiting for, because if they do that, it's to show them up and shut them down. It's not out of fear trying to say, oh, we got to catch up to them. No, they're going to prove a point and say, this is what you're trying to do. Now we're going to do it better. But again, I don't know if they're going to go that route.
That's a good point. You bring up a good point there, because it's going right into the whole championship thing, because usually the champion doesn't have to prove anything. You're right. They're the champion right now. They got to go in and tap Hot Toys out. They got to go in and make them submit. They got to knock them out like I showed Francis Ngannou did to Alistair there. Someone's got to go in now and knock Francis out. Plain and simple. There's a lot of prospects, and you look at the way that they're training and some of the other fights that they're having, and it looks like you can make arguments that they will succeed, that they will beat, that they're even better. But until you beat Shevchenko, until you beat Nama Nunez, right, until you beat Volkanovski, until you beat Ngannou, until you beat Israel Adesanya, good luck. It's hard. But the other point is, and I just want your perspective on this, I don't think it's one contender coming out. I applaud Queen for coming out and doing it. But do you think that other places now are going to be watching this, be like, I think we're going to come out now, or we're going to try this, or maybe this is a good time to come out and get some of this attention. Look at the attention that Queen got. I mean, it's possible, and that's sometimes what happens.
Well, I feel like it happens all the time already with these third-party companies. The difference is that these third-party companies are not a statue company originally. So that's the difference. You know what I mean? That's why this company is catching so much hype, because they came from somewhere. They're already somebody in their industry, which is statues.
And they do really good with those, man.
Right. So that's really where the hype comes from. So you're expecting, I don't collect any statues. I don't own any. So I wouldn't know. But I'm assuming, from what I understand and I hear from people who do collect, that that they're great. The prototype usually matches the final product, which is a big deal. That's very important. So because of that reputation, people are very, and again, it goes back to how people feel about this, because think about it. There's nothing. We don't know anything. They've never produced a figure for us, a 1/6 scale figure for us. So I feel like that's why people are comfortable with that quick jump. They're jumping blindly into something because of the reputation they got, which says a lot about them. You know what I mean? It says that they're making good products. Products are so good that the customers don't even care about them getting into another line of things, because they're so happy with their main things with their statues. So that's a great sign. But again, sure, I don't do that. I don't jump into anything without knowing anything. That's just me. So I'll, even though I ordered my sculpted double pack, I'm still, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm going to get the best figure of my life. I'm not. I'm still
It's good to
waiting.
be cautious.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
good
still
to have,
waiting.
yeah, it's good to have measured and realistic expectations and not to fly off the handle. I totally agree. Arvum in the house with the $1.49 super sticker. Thank you so much, Arvum. Don't forget to subscribe to Positive Fandom. And I have all the content creators links within sixscalecantina.com in here as well. We're going to start getting into the coffee spiller of the day, putting this up from 808. Enjoy what you currently have with Hot Toys. I know, I kind of feel that way too. And I feel like 808 that there are going to be some other companies. I'm expecting an announcement from Hasbro very, very soon on a different company altogether that they're going to be backing. It's going to be their company that's going to be coming out and introducing their brand of something similar in six scale. It's going to happen. I think that some things are going to happen there, but enjoy what we have with Hot Toys and enjoy the ride. And then as far as from the market perspective, whether they innovate or they don't innovate, prices are going up. And we have to be able to, no matter what we're buying, recognize that perhaps in just as soon, Fabio, as in a couple of years, we may be out of the $200 tier range for even when a basic figure comes out. There may be a time sooner than later when a trooper comes out, it's $300. Just saying.
Yeah. No, it's true. But that's the thing, that's my only, I don't get excited about anything. I have to wait to see. I still will pre-order because I still want to know. And you're not going to find out through a video or picture. So I'm just waiting, waiting for that.
And I almost blew up my screen too big over here with my weirdo mouse. But Bob Dillon says, with all respect to Fabs, the $5 drop, we know Howard pays attention. He dropped the MK2 DeLorean prototype just to stick it to Jazz Inc. All right, Fabio, I'll let you respond to it. I'm not familiar with this, but
Bob, I don't, it's not, you're not being disrespectful. What I say is my opinion. I'm not expecting anybody to, to feel how I feel or anything. So don't think I would be offended by any of that. But I feel like at the end of the day, you can't really, I don't compare Jazz Inc. and Hot Toys at all, even though to a certain extent they are doing the same thing. To me, they're not. A Hot Toys thing is something that's mass produced. It's a really big company. The way that they make things, to me, the best of the best. Obviously, yeah, not everything, but the majority of stuff. Jazz Inc. is more of a like a custom company. Yeah, they'll make licensed stuff, vehicles and things now. But for a long time they weren't licensed. So there was no competition there. They were more of a private custom company making batches of little things here and there that would never compare to a Hot Toys thing. Why is it Jazz Inc? Why is a Jazz Inc vehicle that much more expensive than a Hot Toys vehicle? Because they add so many different things. You know what I mean? It's a limited item thing. So I don't compare them to. So if that's why Howard released the DeLorean, then that's fine. I wouldn't know that. I don't know how you would know that if that's the reason why. But I don't, it is what it is. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. If that's the reason they did it or not. But again, if that's the case, this would be the only situation they did that, because I don't remember, any other times that Hot Toys would release something out of spite to another company. If it happened again, I wouldn't know. But to me, it's not something that I feel like they've ever done or constantly do. Because again, in my opinion, I feel like they don't care at all. They know they're on top. They know they do the best. They know they give us the best, at least as much as possible. And I feel like I don't think that they worry about any other companies being on the radar at all. And that's why they just focus on what they do, and what they do is always great.
Really sound conversations, really good chats, great thoughts from Fabio. Welcome everybody in here with a 121 watching. Did you smash the like button, baby? Because listen, we didn't even get to this Enforcer, which we're going to get to. But let's say hi to my friend Joao. The third-party reviews is in the house, and he says, "Man of Hot Collectibles." I thought the Man of Hot Collectibles was taken over by the Hot Toys wizard. Although there he is. and he says Julius is in the house. Is he? I don't know what that is.
Well, Julius is Joel's
I
name
know.
in Dante Land.
In Dante Land. Listen, you're just going to land there, man, of Hot Collectibles, because Fabio told me he's going to go to Fabio World. Screw this land stuff. Fabio World, come on. Welcome everybody in here. It's crazy. Let's go and welcome in here, man, of Hot Collectibles as well. And make sure you also subscribe, like all the content creators I flashed up in here, to Dante, the man of Hot Collectibles. Look, who am I kidding? Actually, make sure you subscribe to Fabio from Fabio World. No, in all seriously, it's Fab's Figures. I've got the link to Fabio as well within 6scalecantina.com in the resources and links page. Oh, I cannot wait to dive into this. I want to just flash it on the screen so everybody knows. So you got my opinion on the Joker. I think it's fantastic. You got Fabio's opinion. He thinks it's fantastic as well. He ordered it. Just bringing out some market stuff to you here in regards to what this all means in general. Other companies that are going to come out of the woodwork, and let's pay attention to make sure we're thankful for what Hot Toys is doing, and that sort of thing. But we're going to get into it. Correct, crazy. Putting this up from Bob again. Let's put this up, and I'll put on a different screen so that we don't block off we block both of our faces. We can be the Bob Dylan with the $10 Bob, and thank you so much, Bob, for all your super chat support here today, and everybody with the super chats. Hot Toys teased the classic Loki just to curb pre-orders on the So-So classic Trickster. They also did President Loki and actually put it into production. They clearly pay attention to competition. Yeah, Fabio, I don't really follow the So-So toys, but I have heard this from people, but I'll let you speak to this. You might know more than I do.
Well, again, we could just make that assumption. We don't know, and I don't know how you would know that this is, the reason why they're doing this. It would make sense that that's the reason why they're doing this, but how do you know that Hot Toys didn't have that, in production first? And then all of a sudden these people show it and they're like, damn, we got to show it as well. We don't know that. We don't know who's doing it first. We see only what we see, which is this company promotes it and then boom, Hot Toys after them. But it doesn't mean that Hot Toys wasn't doing it first. It's just, that's what we see. So that's what I mean. I don't assume these things. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how you would know, but if you're right, then that's great. Again, I don't know how, how a company, a company like So-So Toys or any third-party company, would all of a sudden be like, well, let's make a product that Hot Toys isn't doing, and then all of a sudden Hot Toys comes out of nowhere and makes it. I don't think that's the case, but if it is, that's what it is.
Well, to quote another great prophet, and Bob Dylan, thank you so much for that.
And another thing about the super chat, all the things you're mentioning are just recent releases that Hot Toys are announcing. I'm talking about, from when I started many, many years ago, I never saw this pattern. The figures you just mentioned are just recent figures that were just, announced and talked about. So that's what I mean. This is not something that I've personally seen from Hot Toys over the years. You mentioned the DeLorean, which just happened. You mentioned Loki, which just happened. You mentioned President Loki, which just happened. And that's my point.
Well, and to quote another great prophet and someone I love to listen to, you may be wrong for all I know, but you may be right. Da, 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 that's Billy Joel. Anyway, good conversations in here. Look, baby, I will tell you this. I know I'm right about this. I know I'm right about this. Holy smoke. Man, and this is the next part of the program. We got to get into this, Fabio. I've been calling this for a while. I know a lot of people were wondering about, hey, are we going to get the K-2SO with the Andor series? Again, another thing where we kind of think we know what Hot Toys is going to do. We were just talking about, we know what Hot Toys is going to do, why they're going to do. Heck, it's hard to make sense on what they're going to do. But then again, another call from the Wizard on coming out with this sculpt, and I think we're going to get another one of these. I do think we're going to get the K-2SO again. But I tell you what, dude, I don't have the K-2SO because it's so high within the secondary market. But man, I'd like that Boba Fett. The 1 to 2 pack dude, but has the wear and tear. I love this freaking wear and tear on this dude. This looks absolutely incredible.
And that's a big difference from the original one. The original one is actually.
Do you have it? Or are you grabbing it?
So you could compare right there.
Let me blow you up here, my friend.
Look at the difference just in the face alone.
Yeah, that's cool and sleek too. It's kind of like, yeah, that's cool.
You have some damaging and some scuffing, but it's not as battle damage as the other one.
It's not like that's gorgeous, dude.
And the weight on this is beautiful. Like it has such a nice weight to it too. It's really nice. But yeah, look, even the shoulder is like, clean compared to that.
Here, let me put it back up. Ooh.
It's just super, super clean. I mean, it's got, little scratches, but nothing like the new one at all. That one's going to be really, really nice.
Yeah, I don't have, and now I'm kind of thinking twice what I see in yours. I didn't realize it was that much of a difference with the paint. But for me, at the price this is at, for that one at the price that it's going at, everybody knows that that's high. The K-2SO within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. We'll take a look at where it's at in the market value chart here in just a minute. But first, we got to spill coffee on this, dude. This looks really realistic. I mean, look at the backdrop too, just from that scene. You showed me the head before, I think backstage, you pulled the head up, and this has the rolling eyes.
Right.
You're able to move the eyes on this one as well, right?
Yeah, I'll show you. So I don't ever, like I was saying earlier, I don't put batteries in any of my figures. I just choose not to. I don't think it's necessary to me because I'm not going to have them on anyway. Mm-hmm. And out of fear of the batteries leaking, I don't do it. But I didn't even know that the head, you can move the eyes on the original as well. And I just noticed in the picture that you could. And I was like, wow. I was like, let me check if this one does it. And it does. So it's really cool. So it's pretty much the same figure, battle damaged.
Look at that. That's awesome. And I love you being able to show and tell that here. Hold My Balls has a comment, which I had to hold my balls this morning when this freaking thing got released. Are you kidding me? Aries, I stained my Well, listen, you got to be careful with your iced tea there. Hold My Balls for sure. And welcome everybody who's in here. 130 watching the Market Show live. Special show here on a Thursday. Talking about this K2, not K-2SO. But for me, Fabio, I was telling you, like I'm looking at this figure. And instead of me spending like $500 to $600, $700 on this figure, which make no mistake, that's what it goes for, and sometimes a lot higher than that. Well, we'll take a look. This is going to be an answer for me because I think this is what, like, look, and there's die cast in this. 270 for this size figure is pretty good, but I'm dying over these pictures. Look at that. Wow. I mean, look at the wear and tear. Dude, it's
awesome. It looks like it's really rusted. That's what it looks like.
And here's another thing. We're talking about paid applications. To me, this helps us remember exactly what Hot Toys is, because Hot Toys is known for their head sculpts, right? But when they put out something that doesn't have like a head sculpt, like we've been spilling our coffee over that Fennec Shand when we're talking about Star Wars, over that Casca Reeves, over that Boba Fett that just came out, even over, even though a lot of people were high on it, that Gilgamesh head sculpt still is money, even at that $270 tier range. Their head sculpts, especially as of late, have been like unbelievable. The only thing that's missing is coming to life, but I think we forget like what they could do. I mean, like look at the shoulder here on the left side, like right over the two antenna on his back. Dude, that looks like I'm looking at a car in the frickin' junkyard.
That's what I mean. It looks like really, really rusted, like, metal.
Yeah.
You can see the texture. You can see it's awesome.
Dude, that is like, it is absolutely crazy. So I know we got some super chats in here. I'm going to get to them, baby. Let me put this up from Bob. Dylan putting this up over here, Fabio, and go into another this screen here. We could see us. I like a good debate, but I have a knowledgeable collector like Fabs. Everyone should check out his channel and give a sub. Great discussion tonight. And I appreciate that, Bob.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I thought that was a great. That's what these shows are all about, right, Fabio? Is to, I was waiting to give my whole opinion and take on this while everyone was going out. And I think at the end of the day, what it boils down to, I think this is a very good thing. And kind of just putting a cap on it here. And I think we had a great discussion.
Yeah, no, there's not, and the thing is, it's not just in obviously in the collecting world. I think and I don't want to get into all this stuff, but in society now, you can't have a discussion anymore about anything.
Yeah,
if it's not your own view, then you don't want to hear it. Then the other person's wrong. Then the other person's an idiot. Then the other person's stupid, and that's wrong. You know what I mean? Like we don't talk anymore. Everything is arguing and fighting, and so it gets to a point where it's like, just listen. You know what I mean? Just listen.
Yeah.
Just take a second and listen. That's it. You don't have to get ready to. A lot of people, they don't listen. They're just ready to respond, but they don't really pay attention to what's being said. So people get offended immediately because they're just ready to react, and it's wrong. So,
you bring up a great point, and I'll bring this up, and thank you so much, for that, Bob, and like I said, awesome discussion. And I think as a community, we continue to grow, right? I know even with my wife, I've been married, 25 years. We don't agree on everything, and she has some strong opinions that alter mine, but I respect them, and we kind of laugh and we joke and we eat dinner and we cheer to it. We spill different kinds of coffee together. And I think it's good to be able to kind of put things in perspective, take a step back and kind of, have a good time with it. So totally agree. Putting this up from Big Dog Pound as we're talking about this Enforcer droid. Regarding Hot Toys and Queen Studios, I'm one of those boys who appreciates a fine body regardless of the make. That's very well said. That's very, very well said. I like that, Big Dog Pound. Big Dog Pound, the great supporter. Not only here to 6 Scale Cantina, but to all the channels out there. And of course, I love the avatar. Come on. Come on. Thank you so much there, Big Dog Pound. And yeah, but look at this rust. Look at this. I think sometimes it takes a release like this because I think we're so used to Fabio. Like we saw that Gilgamesh and we were like, yeah, it looks just like him. Yeah, it looks just like him. Yeah, it looks just like him. But we don't really like the movie. And okay, this character. And okay. And then you get a release like this. And you have to wonder, is it possible that when you look at the detail on this, it's not even a head sculpt. It shows you that, wow, there are, the what Hot Toys could do with a figure like this. This is certainly not something Hasbro could do right now. For sure. That is just insane.
Yeah, no, this figure is gonna. I feel like the same thing that happened with the first one is gonna happen with this one, but I feel like even faster because of again, and again, my personal opinion. I love battle damage stuff. I love battle damage everything. It gives any figure anything more character. Look at that that new Ecto one, all beat up, looks amazing. So this figure is going to be, it's going to shoot up in price as soon as it sells out, even faster than, like I said, the first one, because it's beautiful. Look at that base. And that's another thing. I don't know if you've read my comment in your group. I even mentioned the base. I love the fact that they gave us a flatter base because they already, like right now I have mine in the case with no base because no matter what base it came with, it's too high up to stand up in there. So I have them with no base right now. The fact that they gave us a flatter, smaller, thinner base, keeping in mind, like I said, for it to fit in the shelf, whether it's a detail for whatever case you have, I think it's great on their part because again, they're paying attention to how people are displaying their stuff, and they know that something so tall is not going to fit in a detail, which is what usually people use to display their figures anyway.
No, that's a great point. And everyone knows that I'm, very positive. But, I do hit Hot Toys like with the May 4th last year. I think that they missed it. I think that they miss it on some things. I know you hate it when I bring it up, but they missed it on that armor with the 2 freaking Phillips head screws in the bottom of the boots there, Fabio. And I can't stand the sand bases because I'm so tired of them. I feel like I just keep eating the same meal every time I get a figure. So when I look at this baby, Fabio, this, I mean, I don't even know if I'm being objective on it because it's not a sand base, but I love it. I love this base, and I don't know if the helmet comes off, but regardless if it does or not, that's a sweet looking base, I think.
The base, that helmet, that's really, the whole that's first of all, it's a new style of base for Hot Toys. That's number one. You know what I mean? We've gotten plenty of bases that are very similar or the same base, painted differently, for many years. We started getting different styles of bases over the years. And again, I feel like this is its first generation of this type of base, but I'm not complaining about it at all. I think it's cool. I think the fact that it's not a regular, plain boring base with his name on it. The fact that this doesn't even have his name on it makes it more appealing because it looks more of a, believe it or not, more like a fancier figure than just something with a label on it. You know what I mean? So I actually like this a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I'm looking at the detail here. I don't know if I can blow it up anymore, and it looks like I can. Dude, that helmet. I mean, it's really. I mean, it looks so. And for something even that small, maybe on the base, and I guess it's just a regular size. I mean, it looks fantastic, dude. If that's like able to come off, and we could actually put that like on the Mandalorian, like with the quarter scale.
No, I don't think it's
I
gonna
don't
be.
think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna. If we're able to take it, remove it from the base, I don't think it's gonna be one of those things where you could put it in a figure. I think it's gonna be either completely sealed or it'll be completely hollow where it's not gonna fit, anything in there. But they use the same look of helmet in the on the base of the quarter scale Mando. They have a helmet just like that.
Yeah,
stuck on the base. So it's cool that they're doing that.
dude, and I'm looking at this base, and I have it blown up there, Fabs, and it looks like they've got every conceivable detail, and I can't stop looking at the Enforcer's feet, which are also, I mean, it's almost like with Hot Toys again, every conceivable detail they catch in here. What do you think this base is made out of? This doesn't look like. I mean, I'm sure it's not stone, but man,
No, that's got to be some type of painted
so
plastic
good.
or some type of material. Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing, but it's probably whatever it is that they use, some plastic that they painted or whatever type of material. I wouldn't know about materials at all. I think Desi's in the chat. You could ask him.
Yeah, Desi, Metamorphic. If you're in the chat, I didn't know you were in there. Welcome everybody who's in here. Let me know, Desi, how heavy this is. What you think this is made out of. I tell you
and
what,
that's funny you say that. It looks like it would be heavy because of the brick look, but I don't think I think it's plastic. But that's how crazy it looks, that it looks like it would be heavy. I thought the same exact thing. I was like, this looks like it would be like have some weight to it. Hopefully it does.
Yeah, that would be amazing if it does. I mean, this kind of release here, I think it's important to show. It's a release, Fabio, that's without a head sculpt. We're not even right now. We're just looking at the base. Like we would spend how many times, Fabio? Let me start off with this. In quarter scale releases, we spend a lot of time on the base. We don't spend a whole lot of damn time on bases for 6 scale figures. This is the first time in a while for Hot Toys, anyway, right?
That's my point, because we always get the same boring bases, and again, depending on the figure, we'll get something different here, something different there, but most likely it's usually the same rectangular base. Never anything like this. Something completely new, not the same dimensions of the regular rectangular bases that we constantly get. Meaning, in height. I don't, this could be a little bit bigger than the regular base, a little bit smaller. We don't know. But just the whole detail of design, the look, everything about it is completely brand new, which is great.
With 130 in here, I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington. I'm serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk, along with my good friend Fabio from Fab's Figures in the house. What a great time we're having tonight talking about this amazing Enforcer figure with this amazing base. If you didn't hit the like button yet, baby, please go ahead and hit it now while you're enjoying the show. Much, much appreciated. If you've never subscribed to 6 Scale Cantina, this is the first time you're watching The Dark Jedi, subscribe, baby. Subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to Fabio here from Fab's Figures as well. Nathan Henderson with the $5 bomb says, plenty of people and shows that I appreciate in this community. However, you guys are the most fact-based and level-headed. Appreciate the consistency. Well, thank you so much. I think everyone is the same thing. But Nathan, I really appreciate that you're enjoying this tonight, and I really appreciate the $5 drop, my friend. Thank you so much for that, for sure.
Don't be humble. Don't be humble, Aries. You know it's true.
I'm just a guy who's spilling his spatula over this freaking base.
Aries got all uncomfortable. He's like, "Oh God."
Let me put this up from Carlito.
He's like, "Oh no."
This figure is a perfect example of why Hot Toys isn't going anywhere. No other company has the infrastructure to put out the variety of figures they do. You won't get the one-offs anywhere else. Well, you know, again, it's bringing up that whole championship thing. I think this figure does bring up, Fabio, a good point, and I didn't even realize with the super chat coming in. When I'm looking at the paint applications for this K-2SO, and I know that I'm calling it K-2SO, but this Enforcer droid, it does make me remember just how good they are, because a lot of times I'm always imagining the freaking body underneath the clothes of the Jedi that I have that are just pegs, you know, and are just there. But I mean, this freaking this figure does remind us, damn, they can do a lot more than just head sculpts, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, talking just specifically about this figure, the weathering on this thing is beautiful. Again, same exact figure as the other one, the original from, you know, obviously from the movie, but it's the same. It's going to be the same figure, but again, just these scuffs and weathering and damage on it changes to, again, my perspective. It changes the entire figure and it creates an entire different figure to me. And again, this is why I've always loved the battle damage. Anything, it doesn't matter what it is. You give me a regular Spider-Man and you give me a battle damage. You give me a regular Hawkeye and you give me it just gives anything more character. It gives it more, it brings it more, I feel like it brings it more to life. It makes it more realistic to me. So I appreciate, you know, anything battle damage. I couldn't wait to get this Mark 85 battle damage, and I still haven't even opened it. But because again, that to me is what makes the figure. To have a clean, 100% clean Iron Man does not look the same as a completely beat up battle damage Iron Man at all. You know, yeah, it has its benefit. It looks classy. It's clean. It's, you know, it's how it should be. But you give me a battle damage anything next to anything clean, and it'll blow it out of the water.
Yeah. So let's. I mean, I still can't get over this base. And Metamorphic Customs go, it's probably PVC, says Fabio, and Desi says, or ABS if it's not solid. So that'll be interesting. Make sure you guys also subscribe to Metamorphic Customs. Got a lot of content creators in the house tonight. Also got the link to Desi at 6scalecantina.com. I've got all the content creators at 6scalecantina.com. If I don't, reach out to me. I'll be happy to put your link up. But yeah, that makes sense to me. That's very, very interesting. Let's continue to go on with this figure, Fabio. Okay, so here we go. Looking at, you know, what this comes with here. This is a beefy figure anyway. I don't have it. You have it. But this has some meat. You see it with the base. It comes with a couple of weapons. Comes with the rolling eyes. But dude, this is a pretty big figure, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tall. It's very, like I said, the base it came with, I can't use it because it doesn't allow you to put it in the shelf that I wanted in. But again, like I told you earlier, it's got nice weight to it. I love figures that have diecast in it because of the weight. They don't feel cheap. They don't feel like you just paid, $290, $80, $70 for cheap plastic. You know what I mean? I love how that feels, and I feel like that's another reason why Hot Toys it's just unstoppable. You know, like how they're able to pull these things off, and have them come out close to perfect is unreal to me.
Yeah, it's unreal to me as well. It does, and now where's the die cast on this, Fabio? I know that you have the figure, the
Well,
K2.
when I grab it, I feel like it's like in the torso. I feel like it's in the body, because obviously, you
Let
know,
me
in
blow you up.
the legs actually feel like there's, you know what I mean? Like
There.
they feel like they
Yeah.
have some weight on them too. But I feel like there's got to be some in here, but the legs are very heavy as well. So maybe most on the thighs, the shins, the bottom of the leg. But there's got to be some in here, I'm assuming, as well. I don't know. I never opened the figures, but this thing is incredible.
How heavy is that, Fabio, compared to the IG-11 that just came out for the Mandalorian?
This is heavier.
That's heavy. I thought,
This is
and
heavy.
it's bigger and heavier, isn't it?
Height wise, they might be about the same. Maybe this might be a little bit taller, if I'm not mistaken. But this is way heavier than the IG-11.
Yeah. All right. I mean, this is a super release. It's heavier. It looks fantastic. Let's talk about a couple of things here on the implications of this. This is another pre-order. This is coming out in 2023, Fabio. So finally, now we've got the fourth figure for Star Wars for Hot Toys in 2023. I think that the floodgates, I mentioned this after the Ahsoka came out, that the floodgates were going to start happening, that perhaps every single week, even leading up to the May 4th week, it's possible to start filling up that you could get a Star Wars release. It's very interesting that they showed us this first, because you have to wonder, this character was only in the movie at a very, very short time. And not only in a very, very short time, but for a flashback. So now we have to guess, what other figures would they come out with? Certainly, when you talk about Cad Bane, even though it's not a droid, it's a figure that doesn't have a human likeness, like this figure right here. So in a way, that's a lot easier for them. For me, I feel like I already said the Hot Toys Wizard told me. I don't know if the Hot Toys Wizard told you anything when he took over your likeness, but the Hot Toys you don't remember. It's like fate. I feel like these figures that are like droids, that are like aliens that don't require that human sign off, or are humans like Tamora Morrison, which I do believe we're going to get a Boba Fett from this. It's just something that they're going to do, even though logic tells me that they're not going to go ahead and do that because they have Boba with the throne. But I was talking about this last week, that's a moment from The Mandalorian Season 2 that will forever live on in history, when he killed Bib Fortuna. You didn't have Bib Fortuna in the book of Boba Fett because that's a new chapter. There's a new thing. So I feel like they're definitely going to come out with a Boba Fett 1/6 for the series. And I think the only thing that makes sense to me is the Boba Fett, like the quarter scale, where the armors wore down like this more from the end. But I think you're going to they already have that head sculpt. Not a whole lot of work. Tamora Morrison said, great, same head sculpt. You just got this K-2SO. Great. Go ahead and do it. Cad Bane, and again, another alien. Go ahead and do it. Chris Santon. Again, you got to get Disney sign off, but it's going to be like the Chewbacca's they did. I think you're going to get all those figures I mentioned. I think they're just easy for them, licensing wise.
Well, it's easier all around. So starting off with this figure, like I said, it's the exact same figure that we got from Rogue One. So that right there is
easy.
Easy. All you're doing is pretty much making the figure all over again and scratching it up. You know what I mean? And weathering it. Changing the base. So that's easy. Cad Bane. I mean, you can say that it's easier, but still, you're still got to make a head. This is a piece of metal, shaped into a round circle. Making a face, you got to make a face. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a little bit different. Even though, yeah, it's an alien, it's not a human face like a Rex or whatever. but you still got to do design. You still got to give it texture. You still got to give it detail. You know,
Right.
this is a little bit different. This you could just put in a mold and that's it. You know, so that still takes time. Yes, not as much time as, like I said, a Rex, a Gamora, you know, a realistic face, but that'll still take time. Yes, to a certain extent, it'll be easier to do those, but don't forget, you have to design the outfits. You got to get good quality, you know, materials for the outfits. You got to, so again, to a certain extent, yes, but not necessarily.
Yeah, to a certain extent, absolutely. And again, pulling this back up, I mean, can you imagine if we do get Cad Bane though? And I believe, I don't think, like I said, I believe it's coming any minute, if not next week. But they came out with this for, I actually thought they would come out with that first, but this does not shock me at all. But when you look at the detail on this again, Fabio, it kind of gets me hyped up for a Cad Bane, even though it's going to have, like you said, the detail, because they still got to put the detail in. It's still a head sculpt, even though it's not a particular necessarily actor the way he walks around in regular life, right? But again, this almost kind of reminds us. Again, I don't mean to go back to the Gilgamesh and pick on Gilgamesh, which I already said on Dante, the Man of Hot Collectible show. I think is an outstanding figure. Absolutely. I think that thing is money. But it was just like, But when you look at something like this, you're kind of like, man, okay, well, look what they could do there. Can you imagine the Cad Bane with his whole look from this show? If they can nail it just like the show, it'd be so fracking amazing, buddy.
Yeah, no, that'd be, and again, we're 100% getting a Cad Bane.
Yes.
Absolutely. If Hot Toys does not do that, they're going to miss out on a lot of money, because there's a lot of people expecting it. And, you know, the fact that Sideshow made their version of it many years ago, you know, that figure was super expensive at one point. I think it still might be. I'm not sure. But people want their Cad Bane. And if you already own the original one from Sideshow, and then you get this one from Hot Toys, having both has got to feel incredible. So, you know, hopefully, and I'm 99.9% sure that Hot Toys will give it to us, because it'll be something new, something they never did before, and something that people really want to get. Because not only because of the Hot Toys aspect, but the character, how he looks on the show was amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And let's talk about the other elephant in the room when it comes to what the next figure is going to be. Look, and I know that there's been some debate in the community, and again, healthy debate, but I really just don't see any way around this at all, because I feel like this is the star of the show. We don't have a figure from the star of the show yet. And I think we're going to get one, unless, you know, we get something we're not expecting. This is the quarter scale version. And again, when I pull up this head sculpt from the quarter scale, dude, I wasn't even planning on talking about it. But that's really good, dude. That's really good. That's really good.
I have to get two of these for that reason. Like, dude, I could easily just get the one, and because again, I don't want to get like crazy with the quarter scales at all. I really, really don't. But it's like when we get something like this, and like I always say, it's the main reason why I get multiples to begin with. When you could display a figure multiple ways, or at least two ways, like I've always said, I feel like it's a waste to leave the head sculpt in the box if, you know, the figure comes with a cool helmet or a cool, you know what I mean? Like, to waste the head sculpt, to me, it's like, oh, it kills me. So that's why I get doubles, I get triples for that reason. For a quarter scale, though, it's a different story, because they're humongous. You know, they take up a lot of space, and I'm already low on space, and I don't want to be buying multiple huge things at once to take up more space. But it's like for Mandalorian, I ordered two, I only opened one, and with this one I was like, oh my god, I was only going to get one of these, but then I was like, no, there's no way. But that head sculpt is immaculate. That's a must.
It is a must, and it's completely different than the head sculpt that's on the one with the throne. And again, I mentioned this the other day, Fabio. Hot Toys has been, for the most part, releasing moments. That Boba Fett on the throne, taking out Bib Fortuna, which was a big cookie for a lot of us diehard fans that know who Bib Fortuna was from Return of the Jedi, and coming right on the heels of Luke Skywalker coming back into the fray for Star Wars. Book of Boba Fett to me is a completely different thing. But to me, this was the Book of Boba Fett. Like you're talking about, this head sculpt, this finale from Chapter 7, when he was kicking butt alongside Cad Bane, alongside Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, slightly more worn. I really don't see a scenario where we don't get this figure. And how this relates to the Enforcer droid that we're spilling our coffee off of. They have this already. This is done. This is a repaint, dude. And then the head sculpt, again, slightly different, like that Leia. They put eyebrows on it, and it comes out of the back to tank, right or wrong.
Wait, you're saying this is a remake of what?
This will be basically the same figure as Boba on the throne. It just has different paint because the one on the throne is perfect.
Yeah, but this is quarter scale, no?
Right, but I'm saying they're going to come out with this in the 6 scale.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think that they will?
I don't think so because this is going to be this is going to be looked at as the same figure on the throne. So what you're saying is correct, but they're not making a new one. This is supposed to be the same exact figure as the throne. Absolutely.
Tell me what figure will they come out with a Boba Fett from this show then? Because what other version could they give us? Or could they make it that much different from the quarter scale that could justify it? Talk to me.
You're talking about they're coming out from what? From Book of Boba Fett? What other figure from what other?
Boba Fett. A Boba Fett from Book of Boba Fett. They actually don't have one. Isn't that weird? It's a good question.
No, absolutely. They could give us anything. They could give us whatever they want. At the end of the day, they could give us whatever they want. What I would love to see though is we got the 2-pack, right? We got the 2-pack. We got and now we got the throne. Then we got this quarter scale. What are we missing? What did we see on the show that we're not getting? I don't think anything. We got him in the robe. We got him in on the with the battle damage suit, which is the double pack. We got him with this suit, which was the throne. And right, and then and now
yep.
Yeah, now we got the I mean,
it's a quandary to figure out because you have to wonder
exactly.
They have 2 Boba Fetts from the Mandalorian,
right?
From Mandalorian season 2,
right?
They got no Boba Fetts from the Book of Boba Fett, but you do bring up a good point. It would be a little bit weird if they give you the same exact figure from this quarter scale with 6 scale. Although I wouldn't put it past them. I really think they're going to do it. But the reason I wanted to broach this with you, and I knew that you had this opinion from talking with you earlier, I feel like that they're going to use this mold, give us a Boba Fett, but something different, completely different than what you're getting with the quarter scale. But I haven't figured out what it is. Let me ask you this. Is it the back to tank? Is it some kind of DX I'm not thinking of?
That's exactly where I was going. If they're going to give us something from Boba Fett, the show, we're going to get a DX figure. It's the only thing that would make sense. I agree. We already got, like you said, from Boba, from the Mandalorian, we already got plenty. We haven't got anything from the show. Therefore, if they give us another one like the other 2, like the previous 2, it's going to be an uproar. Everybody's going to be like, what the hell? They're giving us the same figure with a different label. That's 100% going to happen. So their only way out of that to kind of play the game a little bit and play us a little bit is to give us a DX, because that's the only way that they're going to be able to get away with giving us, the same figure 3 times.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point. That's why I'm so glad I'm breaking this with you. And Seth is in the house, great supporter with the $5 drop. That's why I'm getting 2 of Ahsoka, multiple poses and so many scenes to recreate. Might get 3. Look, Seth, I was talking about that last week with the Ahsoka when I spilled my coffee with that impromptu live and raw. I'm still buzzing about that Ahsoka. Remember, it's kind of not taking the likeness of anyone. Does have a little bit of a resemblance to Rosario Dawson in a lot of her features that way. It was very cleverly made, but there's so much you can do with that. Fabio, let me ask you this, just going back to this figure here. How many of this K-2SO are you getting, baby? Thanks, Seth.
Oh, this one definitely 2. I got 2 of the original one, and then this one is 100%. I'm definitely getting 2 of these.
Listen, baby, did you hit the smash the like button yet? Getting 120 in here. Please go ahead and hit that like button. You are watching the Market Show live. We're going to be wrapping up here in just a little bit. And we also have Fabio from Fab's Figures in the house. Fabio World, as I love to call it. We've been spilling our coffee, talking about a lot of things today. For sure. I know I said I had some news, and I will talk about that at the end of the show here, which is coming up. So make sure you stay tuned for that on what this news is. But certainly we've been talking about the Joker and giving my first impressions that I've been able to speak about on that, letting everyone else talk about it. And that was a phenomenal discussion talking about this figure here, for sure, which is, again, I feel like, with with that Joker coming out, it really showed, hey, what other companies can do. And we've seen it also from K-2SO Toys, and I think other companies that are going to come out. And I think, Hot Toys releases, out of all things, Fabio, a figure that doesn't have a head sculpt. And it's like, damn, this is really freaking good. And I mean, and it's kind of funny because this is getting a whole different reaction than poor Gilgamesh. Which, again, he's unreal. The head sculpt is unreal with that freaking actor.
But the thing, again, that's the thing. It's because the movies didn't do well. The movie didn't do well, so therefore it doesn't matter. And this is why I say, like, it's not fair to bash Hot Toys when you feel like they didn't perform at what you expected. So automatically they're trash. But because you're not interested in this one figure that's epic, it doesn't matter. And that's where I'm like, so, like, if you're gonna bash, then be fair and give them credit as well. You know what I mean? That's my only thing. You can't. It's not fair to just bash, but not give them credit ever, but still buy their product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that something like this, I feel like with Hot Toys, again, they're the champ. All they got to do is come out with a figure, and a figure say, okay, just put out with something without a head sculpt. Man, this is just so nice. I'm looking at the shoulder for the first time too. So I'm looking at that far shoulder on the far left, which would be his far right, or its far right,
right,
on this droid.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I mean, that's like that rust, like in the center.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick, man. It's pretty sick.
Oh, it's awesome. The whole figure is awesome. The weathering is amazing. Like I said, it looks like it's actually rusted. It looks like I'm looking at a rusted metal like figure.
Is this up on Sideshow, Fabio, yet?
Yeah, it's up right now. Yep.
All right, let me pull it up. Let's go to the end of the show with talking about what the price is. I'm pulling this up. What's the price on this?
And another look right next to each other. Look at that.
Yeah, right next, right? That had Gilgamesh and we didn't spill our coffee, and we have the fist raised.
Look at that. That looks like a picture of the actual actor holding his hand up. Like, that does not look like a figure at all. And nobody's talking about this head sculpt whatsoever.
Again, like I said, the movie, I guess a lot of people didn't like it.
That's exactly what it is.
$285. So what's your opinion on $285 for a figure that has die cast and that heavy? To me, this is like, damn, that's a pretty good deal. I don't
complain about pricing to begin with. If pricing was a problem for me, I wouldn't be collecting. I know, to a certain extent why they price, what it is. Like we talked about earlier, their prices are going up just because every time there's a new figure, it's, going up slowly. So I don't really focus on price ever. I collect what I like, what will complete my line if it's something that I don't have. But another big deal about this figure is, it's Star Wars. So Star Wars right now will blow anything out of the water, so it doesn't matter what figure would have came out from Star Wars, it would have gotten the same reaction.
Well, listen, I had a lot of fun here. We've been 2 hours. I think Brother Cousins is going to be coming up with the show, so I just wanted to squeeze myself in here for that. Make sure you all go out, check out Brother Cousins as we wrap up. I will tell you the news. So the news is going to be with Queen Studios and with this Joker. The Dark Jedi will be following the market for the upcoming Joker and all the 6-scale figures that come up from Queen Studios. We will make it part of 6scalecantina.com. No matter what release it is, whether it's Star Wars or whether it's obviously DC with the Joker, you're going to see the Dark Jedi. Once that figure goes out, we're going to be following how that does on the market. Once those start going out and people are trying to pick those up, you can guarantee that I will be following all the releases from Queen Studios, but not just Queen Studios, any of these new companies that are going to come out and put out heat like they have with that Joker. If Hasbro or any of them others start coming out, we're going to start following them too, so we could follow the trends between what Hot Toys has done compared to what some of the things that could match with them are doing. Obviously, we're not doing that with Sideshow and whatnot, but that's the news here for that. I had a lot of fun here tonight, Fabio. We've been killing it with with so many people in here.
I love being
Come
here.
on.
Every single time. I have the best time when I'm on the show. That's why I always tell you, you better invite me.
Hell yeah, dude. Come on. All right, so tell me what's going on Fab's figures. I'm going to go ahead. Let's side ourselves out.
Yeah, so I just, like I said earlier, I got my Mark 85 battle damage. I still haven't opened, so that's coming up soon. I have short trooper that just came. I have what else do I have? I have something else that I got to open. The assault trooper from Rogue One as well. I just got, so I got to open that. So those pictures and videos will be posted up hopefully soon. I've gotten them like over a week ago. I still haven't opened anything. So that's what's going on my channel. And thank you for having me as always.
Well, listen, everybody, thank you so much for watching the premiere show on for Star Wars Hot Toys. That is 6-Scale Cantina and the Market Show Live. I am the Dark Jedi. A lot of fun here today. And I will be live again on Saturday with this show right here, the Market Show Live, this Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss that at all. I will be having Fabio will be joining me again, along with a full panel of individuals that day. You don't want to miss it for sure. Again, 6 p.m. this coming Saturday. You don't want to miss it. We'll be going over this figure, talking more probably about the market. Perhaps there'll be another Star Wars Hot Toys release. We got a lot of topics, like the hot ones we talked about here today to go over. Again, set it on your calendars. I will be live, regular time, regular station, this coming Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Fabio and a full panel will be joining me. And then you get me again on Sunday. I've been enjoying the Sunday Coffee with Aries. I'm going to be doing it Sunday, probably early in the afternoon, whenever I could get up. I'll put the time out soon, and we'll be going over a lot of crazy trends within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. But listen, thanks to everybody in here for sure. P-Rock will be joining us. He's one of the guys joining us in there. We'll have Dante. It's all escaping my mind, but we'll have a lot of good guys in there coming up on Saturday. I believe Easy Company Collectibles. Of course, Dante, did I mention him? Joao, come on. It's going to be a fun time on Saturday for sure. Well, that's it, Fabio. This was a lot of fun. I should end it the regular way. I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, I buy from 6-Scale Cantina. Go check out the other live show. Stay thirsty.